and half of it will go to the, quote, developing countries. And in the United States, the money that's going to be collected, which are taxes essentially, and incidentally what the Copenhagen Group wants is essentially 20% taxation in all the people in Western Europe and the U.S., and they already have a carbon dioxide tax in Europe as well. And so they want the funds, the taxes, that are lowered upon people by Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan Chase, Citigroup, Warren Buffett. These are going to be the traders in these carbon credits. And those funds will flow in to those entities, plus the profits from trading these carbon credits, which will be in the hundreds of billions of dollars. And they will take half of it for themselves, and the other half will essentially go to government. It is the biggest crypto-capitalist, communist, corporatist, fascist issue that I've ever seen. I mean, they get it all wrapped up in a nice package.
Well, yeah, they always like to present that package like it's for the common man, so that everyone's equal.
Well, it is. It's to get rid of the common man.
Yeah, to keep them forever in servitude, to permanently separate themselves from us is the way I see it.
Well, I'll separate them from us, believe me.
I'm with you on that.
There's a bunch of us out there that are willing to do that. Now, let me go over some of the key points that Lord Monckton said today on the show. That only the Western-type nations, meaning that the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, etc., their tax towards global warming or global cooling will be 2% of the complete gross national product. Now, for the United States, our military isn't even 2%. So this
That's
is going to be
$3
out.
trillion.
Right.
2%
So you're going to have to purchase greenhouse gas licenses, which I don't quite understand. He was talking so fast I could only write so much, and I missed some stuff. But Mr. Chapman, do you have any clue what you would have to do or what you would need a greenhouse gas license for?
No, I don't. But it would be probably the dumbest thing you ever heard of. I mean, this thing is such an insult to anybody with any kind of intellect. It's beyond the arrogance, the in-your-face. We don't care what you think. We're going to do it anyway. We don't care what the laws are. There is no constitution. The court system, we own it. We're going to do what we want. And they've come right out and said that. And so we have to work through the legislature, and if it's impossible, then we're going to have to go to action. And one way or the other, these people are going to be stopped. One of the things that they're terrified of is that we are beating them up badly. And cap and trade and Copenhagen are not going to pass. They're going to lose their punch, so to speak. And 1207 is voted on tomorrow, which is the auditing and investigation of the Fed, and that will pass. And so we got a shot at these people, and we better make it good. Otherwise, we'll have to go into the streets, and this won't be any jerk-off deal like the Weathermen were. It will be with the American military, because they know all about this, and they know what's going down, and they are not going to turn on the American people. I've talked to an awful lot of them, all the way from corporals to generals, both active and retired. And if these people in the Illuminati think that they're going to get away with this, they're crazy. And they've gone so far now they can't go back. They're totally committed. And we got them running in about 6 different directions because of talk radio, programs like this, and on the Internet, just telling the people the truth. And we're disemboweling them. And they still don't think it's going to happen. Well, we're going to have our own set of Nuremberg trials. And it's not going to be any Mr. Nice Guy, I'll tell you that.
Now,
Yeah.
Doc, I want to ask if you can discuss with our audience. There was a video that another fellow patriot put up where there was pictures and video of Chinese tanks and things like that.
Yes, there is. There's actually Chinese military equipment at Fort Irwin, California, right now, and there are also 2 battalions coming from Canada. As a matter of fact, the first train passed right through the middle of town here 2 days ago, headed for Fort Irwin. And I'd like to put some emphasis on what Bob said a minute ago, because we have a bunch of people that also are in the military talking to us, and it's about 70% of the military that I know is aware of what's going on, and they say that as long as the people do the right thing, that they're going to back us 100%. And they are behind us. And the information I got was that they have already had their training orders and training, and that they are currently awaiting an op order for martial law.
Does that sound about right, Mr. Chapman?
It certainly does. And who knows when they're going to do it, what's going to trigger it. We don't know. They tried this H-1B1, and they got knocked out of the box on that one, too. There's going to be a minor incursion. They tried a more lethal strain in the Ukraine. I guess they thought those people were more expendable. And they even had the gall to spray the stuff on people. And, of course, the guy that runs the country, he knows all about it. He's the product of George Soros's color revolution. I don't know what color they had in the Ukraine. I can't remember. But anyway, he'll be out of office soon. And they have martial law, so I'm sure they'll try to put off the elections. That will be a Zbigniew Brzezinski special. He loves to do that. And but anyway, Ukraine is not going to lay down for them. But a lot of people have died. They've had over 400 deaths.
Yeah, I've even heard estimates as high as 6,000. And the height of their arrogance is they even put it in our face by making a skit about spraying people with virus on Saturday Night Live. I guess a couple nights ago. It just blew me away when I saw that, the arrogance of it. But I think that it has to do with what Yuri Bezimov said, that our country right now is so demoralized. When he talked about the process that they used with Poland, the 4 steps to demoralization, active measures, crisis, and then normalization. And he said that it takes about 2 to 5 years to get a country completely demoralized, and they've had about 15 to work on people here. So that's part of the problem we've had with waking people up, is that you can put the evidence right in their face, and they won't believe it until a military boot is crashing into their butt. So
and then they'll think it's for their own safety.
Yeah, they'll be begging for it once they're hungry. You can believe that.
Well, what's that Russian guy? I forget the guy's name. That might be the same person you were just talking of. But he said that people in the United States, right? He said that in as far as people in the United States go, people don't believe that there's camps, and you could march people right into a camp in Russia, leave them there for 6 months, and they still won't think there's a such thing as concentration camps.
Exactly. I've been to them myself. I've pictured them myself. I've even talked to the guys that are working there that actually let us walk around while we filmed, at least until their boss got there and chased us out of there at the old Army Depot down here in Sacramento. They've installed brand new 14-foot high wrought iron fences with barbed wire on top, and granted, that's supposed to be just a moving station, but they have 4 large areas. They don't even have shelter in them. They're just rows with lines in it, with the alphabet on it, and with doors for you to lead on out to go right up to the loading dock. And I've explained that to people, and they'll look right at me and say, well, that place is closed down. And it's full of trucks and people, and it's closed down. So,
or you get the other thought is, well, if it was a camp, why wouldn't they put it on TV?